Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today is Thursday. It says no one's watching, but I think there are people watching. Um, the internet's been real sketchy and weird, so we're gonna bust through it, try to get as much information out as we can. I've had a couple of interesting news stories pop across my feed that I want to share with you guys. And I want to ask Johnny if he's seen anything in the payments industry because we kind of have a little help from friends on the inside. And we want to ask some questions when we can. So I'll be right back right after this with Johnny. Happy holidays, Johnny.
What's up? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. The FBI posted a warning today for everyone going into the Christmas and well, it says it would let me. Surely it would let me. Let me double check that. Now it's saying that I can't share that, but I should be able to share this window with you guys. There was a, did it close on me? I had a screenshot of it pulled up. Let me check something real quick. I don't want to share that because that is not needed to be shared. But this I should be able to share. Oh, I have to open it in a different window. Now I can see it. Okay. Sorry, guys. Here we go. This was posted on Instagram. This is from Epoch Times. The FBI and 2 other federal agencies issued a public safety warning on December 12th. So it wasn't today, I guess, highlighting the potential threats to the U.S. during the upcoming Christmas and New Year's holidays. The Bureau, along with the Department of Homeland Security and National Counterterrorism Center, cited the ongoing Israel-Hamas war as a potential trigger for attacks. However, the agencies did not point to any specific plot. They assessed that ongoing tensions related to the conflict likely heighten the threat of lone actor violence targeting large public gatherings throughout the winter, including holiday-related faith-based New Year's Eve, First Amendment-protected events related to the conflict. Interesting. So this was their statement, was to kind of watch out. We know we've been hearing a lot of news around or whisperings around, possible blackout. And we've all been waiting for the EBS and the 10 days and for that beautiful bean footage to roll out. So last night I've been introduced now to the Stephen Narioff, who was one of the original guys who were brought in to advise on Ethereum getting started. And he saw some hanky-panky going on. He advised them to clean it up. They decided not to go in that direction. And so he gave up his Ethereum. It's my understanding. This is my understanding of what I've read or looked into so far. And then he was recording conversations between him and Vitalik, and he posted those. He saved them and posted them in an NFT on the blockchain and released. And it talks about like them Vitalik admitting to being paid by CCP and some of these other crazy involved. And somehow like Joe Lubin's involved in it and just some wild stuff. Well, then last night I was on a Twitter Spaces because the headline grabbed my attention because it said something about we got a voicemail back from Senator Lankford's office. Well, that's my senator in Oklahoma. And he's on the finance committee. He's on several other things, but I thought it was really interesting. And so they played the let's see if I can find it quickly. Is that the one about the Treasury Department? I think this is it. Okay. Okay, this is what the FTX trial revealed the CCP's involvement with Huobi and OKC, which I was like, what? Was held on Huobi and OKC. The exchanges, Huobi and OKC, are essentially the same group on chain, set up originally and funded more than 60 exchange addresses. Often in particular shared how followed many of the crypto's largest thefts back to this group and these exchanges. So this is guy Truth Labs at Boring Sleuth on Twitter. You guys can follow him. And he goes through and talks about names of VCs or groups that are tied to or directly set up to originally fund one of the 60 exchange addresses. I guess he followed the blockchain and found some of this information, how users continue to get rugged despite showing transactional, unattested evidence. Current algorithms obliterate its reach. So, where is it?
I mean, those are big exchanges. Huobi definitely was a big exchange.
Yeah, and so these were some of those exit scams that they were talking about. So people were tagging Elon Musk in this, trying to get him to look at it. I sent it to Steven, and so because I didn't know if that had to do anything to do with some of the stuff he was researching. And then they showed this. Okay, this is what I think they sent to the senator's office. It all goes down to the crown virus is bigger than corporations doing their bidding. AT&T, Western Union, and Google. And then it shows a China flag. The world will know the truth. And then they show this, which is in 4 pieces, and it really does not flow well. I mean, you probably have to print these all out and put them together, but it shows where it's all tied together through these big families, the Warburgs, Bank of Boston, Citibank, Western Union, Creature from Jekyll Island, the Bank of Manhattan Company, then goes through JP Morgan Chase, Rockefeller, Gilmore, JP Morgan Chase, Pfizer, of course, is involved.
Of course.
Yeah. See, and then I went the wrong way with this, but it shows all of these families. And you can see all these people related and how they're involved. Investors, NASDAQ, AstraZeneca, of course, more drug companies. Anyway, they map all this out. And the Clinton Foundation, of course.
Of course. They're always there to help. Always there to lend
There to help. Yes, there to help.
Here to help.
with all of it. But he goes into talking about. Let me play this for you guys real quick.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Senator Langford's legislative staff in response to a message that our office received from you about conducting an investigation into Erickson and our national security. Just wanted to say thank you for reaching out and flagging this for us, and wanted to let you know that I've passed this along to our foreign policy and telecom staff. Questions that we can answer for you, or if there's anything else you'd like to chat with a staff member about, please feel free to give our offices a call back or submit another message through linkford.senate.gov, and we'd be happy to get back to you. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
So they submitted what he turned in, and are opening an investigation into Erickson and telecommunications for our national security. So I'm really still kind of digging on some of this, but I think that wasn't there the whole, like, poly cyber attack thing they were talking about? Um, there was threats there's been threats of, like I had heard that there actually was a cyber attack on the banks, within the last few days even, but I haven't heard it anywhere else in, like, mainstream media. I've been looking all over, so I've just heard it on, like, back channels and stuff. I can't see any news about it anywhere.
I'll give you my insights. We're working on the inside. I've been noticing, not just even recently, this is going over the course of the last 6 months, an unprecedented amount of outages and what seemed to me to be like hacks going on in the banking industry. I mean, I think last month there was an issue with even well, a bunch of people didn't get payroll checks on a Friday.
Okay.
That was definitely related to some type of hack. I've been seeing issues with payments going through, failing, software failing. Now, whenever this banking software goes down, it was like, oh, it's a glitch, it's down, it's down. Well, it's when stuff keeps happening repeatedly, it's not a glitch or a coincidence. You know, it becomes mathematically impossible. There's something going on. Their systems are being attacked. Actually, in my area, there was just a big hospital that was had a cyber attack.
Wow.
That was really, really like that was publicized as well. You know, now I always wonder why they make these things public when they do, because the banks never own up to cyber attacks. That's what I've seen from my experience in the payments world and banking world. They'll give you every story under the sun. Oh, it was smoke in a server room. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that.
Mhm.
It's just an outage. It's just a glitch. It's just they never admit, hey, it's a cyber attack. Reason being, they don't want any panic when it comes to banks. They don't want to run on the banks. They don't want people questioning the banks. They want the banking and the money to be the last thing on people's minds. Like, we got you covered. We'll give you all your money back. Don't worry. And you get this, it's kind of the whole, like, you know, buyer protection with like the credit card industry, and which is good to an extent, but then it means that they just make everybody whole at the end of the day. Where's that money come from? Is that being authorized by the American people to make the banks whole at the end of each day? Hello, it's not.
No, Fed Powell said that they are going to just have to print it, and he said, and we will see a recession next year. Like, that's what he said on Wednesday. And I will say in the chat, Stephanie is saying Hillcrest, Tulsa, which I believe is a hospital in Tulsa. So I think she's saying that there was also a hack or an attack on their system. I think that's what she was saying.
In the New Jersey area, it was like Hackensack University Medical Center, which they own. They bought up lots of the littler hospitals and medical centers. They're a massive conglomerate in the northern New Jersey area. So they were hacked. But again, I feel like in the medical world, it's something they would want to let us know about. It's because it distracts us. Hey, don't question, you know, the jab or that stuff or the other, you know, but we'll own up to the cyber attack or the hack. Who knows? It may even be a way for them to get away with stuff. Maybe they destroy records. It's kind of like when
so there was CVS, Rite Aid, and Kroger just turned over every prescription that they have to the government without a warrant. So, I mean, things like that could be happening. We know that right now they're pushing bills through with that extended FISA on the NDAA, and they're just giving away. I mean, it's becoming worse than China, where it's complete surveillance state here in America if all this stuff happens. I mean, it's just they've completely broken our contract with them through the Constitution and have violated our rights completely. It's just insane.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's like I said, I feel like if they let us, whatever they let us know about is a distraction. Now, whether, and why did it occur? Did they want it to occur? It's kind of like, I think Bix was just talking about it recently on a show about how after 9/11, how like all this stuff got destroyed. And then there was like, then after it got flooded, there was a fire. It's like, if the flood didn't get it, all the fire will.
Right. Building 7, all of that. Well, and the same thing happened in Oklahoma City. That bombing happened and they cleaned up really fast. And that was to cover up all the documents that were in that building because Hillary was supposed to go to have court, and the evidence was being kept there. Which, speaking of which, Seth Rich's laptop is supposed to drop like today or something like that.
Any day. I was watching a show about Oklahoma City, and wasn't like the ATF like gone from the building that day? Like they got like I think they were all like missing. Like they had a big office there, and they were all gone that day mysteriously doing like a training or something like that, like off site. And there is coincidences, but when they occur too much and too often, they become mathematically unlikely. And that's, I feel like you always have to look at math. What's the mathematical and statistical likelihood of things occurring? And if it's a coincidence, it's this, it's that, and then you look at it, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, the chances of this actually happening is like, you got a better shot of winning like Powerball 5 times in a row. Like how did this occur? So I feel like numbers, true numbers don't really lie. Numbers kind of paint a picture. So but again, my like synopsis of it would be that they won't let on to the hacks in the banking world and the monetary system because they just don't want to freak people out. It's just not.
The only way they'll do it is if they were the ones that did it, and then they'll come with their solution and all that.
Yeah. I've been told by somebody at a conference that, was definitely someone that was connected to the swamp or whatever, let's put it that way. And they kind of were questioning me about what I was doing. And, I said, it's main reasons because I saw a lot of like fraud occurring and stuff. And I said, I'm shocked that it's not talked about more. And I was talking about the synthetic identity theft that was going on at the time, a lot of it. And they specifically said to me, that's not to be talked about. That's why it's not being talked about. And I go, What do you mean? And they go, yeah, if that cat gets out of the bag, there could be a run on the banks, and there'll be public panic. We have to keep the public calm. And they're not going to panic the public when it comes to the monetary system. So that's my fear with everything, that when stuff goes down, they're going to manipulate us because they're never going to own up to it. So it's always going to be like, it could be right in your face, but they'll be like, oh no, it's just an outage. It's just this, it's just that. Like I said, like they can, if the banks go down, they probably can keep manipulating everybody through the Visa system to keep it working for a while and not even let on to the public, hey, there's been a big issue. Just, keep using your card. The businesses might not get their money, but then they'll tell like the payment processors an excuse for why they're not getting the money,
right,
some glitch or something. And then That info will be relayed to the merchants as long as the consumers are getting their goods. So everything will keep flowing. Deposits will stop. And then how quick do they turn it on? How quick do they get something else up and running that turns it on? They will not admit to it, though. That's my thing. It's not like, hey, there's a bank holiday, and then you turn on the TV and they're like, all right, the banks went down, the financial system's in ruins. Like I said, they'll nuke a place. They'll stage an alien invasion.
Would Wall Street crashing be enough of a chaos, a nuke, versus actually physical, blowing something up? Or would that go in the wrong direction for them?
I think they use Wall Street because it's very emotional for people. People see it on the TV. They'll use that to create the new system. But if they need to distract us, they won't use Wall Street because that might panic people more. They'll do an event. That's my thing. And I previously said they would do a fake type of nuke attack. But I've even changed my mind on that a little bit. I could see them doing a real one. I mean,
they don't care. Yeah.
They don't care. I mean, look at all the other stuff they've done. So I was like, in my mind, like, it'll be fake somewhere like in Alaska. I was like, they might pull off a real one, and just like they always have multiple key sets of agenda. Like, what do they care if they give us health problems for? It gets people more dependent on the medical system. You know what I mean? And, they might, I hate to be so doom and gloom, but if they don't hit it in a real urban area and it's a little bit off the beaten path, they call it the fallout from the radiation. That'll get everyone like super sick or whatever. And,
well, that's what they were leading to in that movie that's out on Netflix that everybody's talking about, that says it's called Leave the World Behind. And then somehow it's like this, most likely some kind of military industrial complex, delivery system of radiation. The kid's teeth start falling out at the end of the movie and whatever. But I do want to mention that, Trump always wears blue. He always wears a blue suit. Always wears a blue suit. My husband used to, when he was working in the car business, he always wore like these crazy expensive suits and all this. So he's always looking at Trump's suit and what tie is he wearing and this and that. And last night he's sitting there and he's like, he's wearing a black suit. Trump wore a black suit in Iowa last night. And that movie, the one that everybody's talking about, is about a blackout. They still have power, but there's no Wi-Fi, there's no data, so there's no phones, they couldn't even get like their satellite phone thing to work for a couple of days. And then the EBS starts rolling out after a couple of days. And, so are they foreshadowing? Are they doing that cabal thing where they have to put it in your face first?
I could see
they do it to you.
I could see something like that occurring where they take out the internet for a period of time. Because think about it. The internet's a drug to people. It's addictive. What happens when your drug goes away? You go into withdrawal.
And that makes it unstable. And that triggers people to fight with each other more.
And now what happens if Mr. Dealer, forget Mr. Dealer, somebody comes along with that hit for you or that fix for free? You're going to be like, I'll do anything for that fix. So then they can roll out the EBS and the messaging to us to manipulate us, and it'll just be absorbed by people so readily. I could see that happening. They're probably foreshadowing to some degree. I would just beware of what they
present to you.
And I think the main thing I've heard, if there was any type of nuke attack that was in your area to some degree, I mean, even if it's, I guess, I don't know I'm not an expert on this stuff, but people think, oh, we'll be dead. you want to stay inside. You do not want to leave your home. And there is certain tablets you can get that will supposedly protect you, like certain
I've
pills.
heard that.
Name on here because they might.
Yeah, I'm sure we're already doing
down because of that. Johnny's
enough.
something, and it's
Yeah.
but DM me. I'll tell you offline what they are. But I would just have some of those lying around. And again, if God forbid something happened, I don't have any info that it's going to happen. I don't have any inkling now more than any other time. But we're in a world of uneasiness, and who knows? So just be ready for anything at any time. But if it does happen, just stay inside. Do not go outside, because that fallout, they call it, that radioactive fallout, you don't want to be outside exposed to it. You want to be indoors. I think
If that were to happen, yeah.
I think probably for a period of a couple days, and then
yeah, there was one other thing. I know I'm gotta cut it short here today, but there's this guy doing this. I don't know if I can pop this out. Well, you guys probably can't see it. I think I've tried this before. Maybe I can show it on the Team ID thing. He talks about this idea that once all this breaks, people are going to be very vulnerable because they're going to be so lost, because once you can't trust your doctor, you can't trust your government, you can't trust once people really know all this, they're going to have to learn new systems of finding information. They can't trust their media. Wait a minute. Well, where's the link? Where's the article? I heard it on the news. Well, I'm supposed to be able to go ask my doctor. Well, I'm supposed to trust the drug companies, and once that all breaks, which I think that's what that map was showing, is how it's all fed by CCP and controlled and all connected. All of our trust systems, the things that we, lean on for information and, all of that has been manipulated. And that's why we're so sick and fat and fighting with each other and destroying our own country, because we've been infiltrated that way and destroying within. But I posted it in the Telegram, so you guys there's a link in the description to join the Telegram. It's free. But he does this video where he talks about, I don't know if he's like a psychologist or what, but it's a really short, it's like 3 minutes or something. But he talks about like how in a fog people will be, and because of that, there'll be that disruptive nature where are unsettled, and that could set us up for a situation of civil war, just because people don't know, they don't want that cognitive dissonance moment is such an unsettling feeling, where they don't know what's up and down and what the truth is anymore, and they have to learn to, as Westwood says, trust themselves. And so until we find that place, that anchor of trusting ourselves, our country could be in a really unstable place.
Yeah. They want us fighting with each other, for sure. We know that. They don't want us getting along. That's my reasoning for why the internet won't go down for an extended period of time. I've spoken about this, that they need that messaging system to manipulate us. So if they take down the internet and the phones for now a few days to take us away from our drug and get us desperate, yes. But anything more than 3 or 4 days, I can't see, because they need people on TikTok and these other things to be getting manipulated and brainwashed. You know what I mean? And stay on your social media. Let us keep Google searching. Let us fire the ads at you. Let us, do all this stuff. Even the music nowadays. I mean, the music is providing messaging to people that's bad.
Subliminal messaging.
Subliminal messaging. It's there's songs that put people in trances when they listen to them, and it's not good.
No, it's not good. And IM says, history repeats over and over again, and we're seeing that right now, whether it's, Warren Buffett selling his stocks, all this stuff. I was talking this morning on WBRT about how I had watched this documentary and everything from, stuff that happened around Kennedy and then moving up to, there was a lot around. I think they were about to expose all the child sex trafficking stuff in 2008. And then they did the bank that they, instead of like exposing it through the banking, because they even had Epstein, there's information on there that they were told to leave Epstein alone in 2008. Like that was exposed and there was a case and everything. And it was told that no, leave him alone. He's one of ours or
He's
something.
intelligence. I think that was that guy,
Yeah.
Alex Acosta, was it, or something? And
Something like that.
I think that was the guy. And Epstein, they were told Epstein's intelligence, leave him alone. And
then we had the banking crash in 2008, and it was all in there and it all got covered up and people lost their homes and all of this happened. And it's like it covered all that up and kicked it down the road. And now here we are again. And now it's being exposed again. That Etsy just laid off like fired a fourth of their staff when there were rumors, and I guess maybe they did an internal investigation. I don't know, but people were selling slices of pizza on Etsy for thousands of dollars. And now they've just had a huge thing where they fired tons of people. So are we there again? And is that all part of this too? So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's be ready for anything.
It is a crazy time, but don't live in fear. We know we're telling people to be prepared, but it would be a good idea to make sure you have some food.
Yeah, that's really important. You don't want to live in fear. You got to live your life. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy Christmas with your family. Have a good New Year's. Enjoy every day. But I say the best way to be is be prepared, be ready for anything, but live your life. Enjoy if something did happen, you don't want to look back and be like, well, I was afraid every day. You want to look back and say, hey, I was enjoying every single day, and just enjoy every day while things are normal. Hopefully nothing does happen. And hopefully what does happen is that we just get freedom and we get rid of the bad guys. We get sound money. We get a constitutional dollar. There is hope for us to have things that help us out, we the people. So that's what we want. But don't live in fear, but just know that it's good to know steps to take if something were to happen. It's like kind of like hopefully you never need it. Hopefully it's something, skills you can just keep aside and you never have to use it, but just good to be aware. That's all.
To be aware, yeah. Trini says Hasbro Toys laid off a bunch of people too, so maybe that has something to do with it as well. Thanks for that information. Thank you guys all for watching, and we will be back tomorrow for happy hour with Westwood. I hope you guys all have a safe and wonderful evening, and hold it all lightly.
Good show, you guys.
Positive, so take care. Bye.